Recent video of Emil Abrahamson. He climbs with Tomoa, and they say they don't do any weightlifting or weight training at all. They just spray wall. What are your thoughts?
I get people in consults who ask questions like this a lot. And two things I bring up are, first, ask yourself before you look at somebody else's training plan, am I this person? Because if you're not that person, it probably doesn't really matter that much. I'm not Tomoa Narasaki, so I'm not going to try to climb like Tomoa or train like Tomoa. Doesn't really make sense. Second thing is post hoc ergo propter hoc, which is Latin. It basically means just because B came after A does not mean that A caused B, right? So just because Tomoa is a World Cup climber and he doesn't do any weightlifting and he mostly trains on a spray wall does not mean that if you do all your training on a spray wall and don't lift weights, you won't be a World Cup climber, right? There are a million other things that go into that. Probably the biggest thing is a combination of genetics and training age. And the inverse of post hoc ergo propter hoc is like, for all we know, Tomoa would have won more World Cups if he had been doing more weightlifting, like assuming that he doesn't do any, right? We just don't have that information. Athletes are starting to be more transparent about that stuff. And so maybe we'll start to learn more. But my guess is that a lot of the World Cup climbers out there are probably doing some weightlifting at least some part of the year and probably not doing any of it or much of it at all during the season, except for maybe the speed climbers who maybe do a little bit more of that type of training.
Yeah.
Pro athletes just generally aren't normal people. They're outliers. That's why they are who they are.